I have more of a kinship with some people whose lives are captured in the Bible than others. Zechariah, the father of John the Baptist, is one such person. You meet him and his wife Elizabeth in Luke chapter 1. They're described as a faithful couple who've been serving and following God all their life, but they're no strangers to disappointment. They are infertile, they're childless, they haven't been able to conceive. And now they're in their old age, so all hope seems to be lost. Yet they're still serving, they're still following. When God draws near to Zechariah, he's serving as a priest in the temple in Jerusalem. He's going into the temple and bringing the incense for burning at the altar. The incense often represents the prayers of the people. And as he brings this incense in, an angel suddenly appears to him and says, "Do not be afraid, Zechariah. Your prayer has been heard. Your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son." Now this is a lot to process. He's going about his priestly duties and then suddenly he has an angel and an answer. I can't really fault Zechariah for having a moment of doubt, of disbelief. It's a lot to take in. He says, "How can you be sure of this?" Now poor Zechariah, he kind of gets struck dumb until his son John is actually born because of this moment of doubt. The first time I saw a miracle happen, I had the exact same reaction as Zechariah. I was praying for a guy and asking Jesus to heal his knee. He'd had a sports injury and had very limited movement. When I turned around a minute later and his knee was moving freely, I was completely and utterly shocked, kind of disbelieving and doubting. I suddenly had this moment of, I knew the theory that God listens and he answers to our prayers, but here he was actually listening, actually answering, and I was there with my mouth open. And then I had this whole fear of the Lord moment. He is present, he is listening, even when I'm not really sure that he is. When God comes near, anything is possible. Now when I look at Zechariah's life, and if you've walked a journey similar to his, then you'll know it's a bit of a balancing act between the hope and the longing for what you want and the not yet, and the pain and the disappointment and the tension of what you're living in now. The thing about Zechariah is, he was an old man and still following God. He spent years with this balancing act, and he seems to have done it well. Yeah, okay, he had a moment of doubt when he was faced with an angel, but actually, God gave him John the Baptist. God gave him a man who would bless a nation because of his faithfulness and his heart open to God despite pain, through pain. As we approach Christmas, the time when God reminds us of his greatest miracle, his presence, what is it that we might need to bring to him again? Maybe there isn't anything that you're carrying, but actually just asking God to help you build that lifelong faith is what you want. But maybe there is something. Maybe as I share this story, you know exactly what it is. There is a prayer that you've been praying. Maybe you even stopped praying it because you don't know how to keep praying it, that you are longing for God to move in. As we approach Christmas, as we remember God coming near, let's ask him to come near to us again in that place.